Okay, it's Toby from Heavyweight MMA today with professional MMA fighter Dom Marfan. How are you, bro?
I'm very good, bro.
Happy New Year, bro. It's a big 2024 coming up for you. Fighting for the Eternal Belt in February against Quillan Salkilld. How's that feel for you, man?
Exciting, bro. I've been waiting for this moment for a while. I feel like in the back of my mind with every fight that I did last year, I've just been wanting to get this one back. So I'm pumped, man. I'm absolutely pumped.
Now, bro, I was just while I was waiting for you, I just had another look at it. I've watched it a couple of times, but just to watch it again, have you gone back through it and kind of had a look at it, just analysed it with your coaches and whatnot?
Yeah. My last fight with Quillan.
Yeah.
I've definitely I've watched it a lot of times. I'm also not someone that loses very well. So like even before I knew that the fight was in line, like man, I watched that shit like 20 times later that night after I lost, man. Like
Yeah.
I was analyzing it from day one for sure.
And when you watch it, does it give you angst like shit? I fucked up this, I fucked up that, or whatever. Like, is that how you go thinking when you're looking at it?
100%, bro. And like each day it pisses me off more. Like I'll kind of like I'll go like a month without watching it, and then I'll watch it again. I like watching all my fights back to kind of get a good idea of where I've come from and like where I'm at now, and like it reminds me of the progression I've made. And fuck, man, every time I watch it, it's like it looks less and less like me. Like I'm like, ah, shit, that's crazy that I made that mistake. I made that mistake. Like there's a lot of things in there that to me are very amateurish. You know.
Yeah, man, watching it again, like I know at the time, no excuses as you said, but you were unwell the week before with a stomach bug and everything. You still managed to do a pretty grinding sort of fight, and you put him in some dangerous positions on the ground quite a few times, man. You had him in some good positions. He reversed some positions really well. He looked very good in the stand-up. What do you think his game plan will be coming into it, eh?
I think he's going to want to strike me. I'd say most of the people that try to fight me, that's probably their game plan going into it. I think really quick they realize it's not as simple as that after they fight me. I also think he's going to have a lot of confidence still in that grapple. I think he won a lot of those grappling exchanges that last time. But like I said, like I feel like I've come a long way. I don't think I'd make half the mistakes that I made in that fight. So like, yeah, I'm confident on all bases.
Yeah, man, I think exactly what you said. Like he found some success with the striking, especially in the third round. Landed some nice solid shots. Didn't seem to phase you too much, but there were some solid shots. I think that's the way he's going to go as well. What about yourself, bro? Is that when you think about your training, do you figure, well, he's going to come with a striking, I'm going to pick up that area, or are you just focusing on what you like to do best?
We've worked a lot of specific newer elements to my game this camp. I'll keep those pretty close to the chest, but I think he's going to end up being quite surprised. I think some of the areas that I've been working on, I see myself hurting him really, really, really bad early on. So I'm confident. I'm always upgrading like my areas that I'm already solid at. I'm always upgrading the areas that I'm weak at. But there's some stuff that would work specific for this guy for sure.
Yeah, man. And you obviously sacrificing everything, man. You basically a gym rat, just living at the gym you mentioned, work like non-stop there. So this must mean so much to you, man, hitting the title, because this is your chance to, show how much you've improved since that fight, show where you should stand, and then look for bigger things, right?
Yeah. I'm confident with this. I don't just go into this hoping that I'm gonna scrape a fucking decision or something. I see myself going into this and absolutely making it look one-sided. I think with my actions rather than my words, I can really show people that wasn't me. Last time I fought him, I'm definitely excited at the chance to be able to do that.
Yeah, man, and your mindset in what you're saying, your mindset's kind of changed over since the time I first started talking to you to now. You seem much more focused on with a winner's mindset, right? Like a destruction sort of mindset, like more aggressive than before, right?
Yeah. I kind of I reached a point when I was in my amateur career where like early on in my first like two or so amateur fights, like I kind of went into each fight kind of like, well, we'll see how it goes. And it wasn't until I made my return, I think it was like 2 years after I had a big loss in my amateur career, where I kind of came back and I was at a point mentally where I was like looking at everyone in the amateur division. I was like, fuck, I'm better than these guys, man. Like I should shred every single one of them. And then the second I had reached that place mentally, that's what I went and did. Like in the next four amateur fights I had, then I didn't get hit in the face, you know. And that's kind of like the point that I'm at now after kind of coming back, having a few fights. Like I feel like, fuck, man, I could not care who you put me against. Anyone in the lightweight division, I'm so confident I would absolutely shred them, and I don't think it'll look close.
Yeah, man, something just pops into my head thinking about Corey Sandhagen, like the way he kind of changed his mindset. Even after you listen to him much,
Yeah.
he's very like a thoughtful sort of guy, and now he goes in there with a lot more sort of aggression than he used to, and I feel like the same sort of thing applies to you.
Yeah. Bad intentions for sure. Like
Yeah,
I got bad intentions going.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, like I early on in like my MMA career, I was definitely more on the pure grappler side of things, and I looked at everything very technically. And I never took anything personally, but nowadays I take it as a personal offense when the other guy thinks that they're gonna fucking win this fight. You know, I actually remember watching you did an interview with Stanoff before I fought him, and I was watching it and I was like, damn, like this guy really thinks he's gonna beat me. Like this is fucking and I remember being so mad the rest of the day. I'm like, who the fuck does this guy think he is? Like and then like I kind of like I reasoned to myself. I mean, I guess everyone going into the fight is assuming they're going to win, but like, man, I'm so confident that yeah, I'm a little bit offended when the other guy thinks he's going to win. Even in this case, where he's already beaten me before, like him thinking he's going to win pisses me off beyond belief.
Yeah.
So.
I'll try my best to get an interview with Quillan, and I'll see if I can get you G'd up.
Yeah.
How are you going to win this one, bro? I'm gonna.
Yeah. I'll just be seething in hate in the corner of my room watching it. Yeah.
Fair enough, bro. Hey, anything new for the camp, bro? Anything switched up in terms of anything, strength and conditioning, diet, anything else that sort of you've switched up since the last one?
Not since the last fight. Like I've kind of just refined my process. Like I really in this last year kind of got in a bit of a rhythm where I understand like how much my body needs to be able to peak, like what amount of work I need to be able to do, like how much I need to be able to visualize certain sequences, and I feel like even though like at the beginning of the year I already had two professional fights, I think I was still an absolute amateur. I think last year is really the year I became a professional. Even in the way that I treat it, like I feel like I've got the process down now. I kind of know exactly what I need to be doing, exactly what I need to be eating. Yeah, I feel like I've covered everything.
And what do you do for recovery, man? I'm always amazed at how hectic the schedule is for pro fighters, bro. What do you do to recover?
So I've got a physio. Shout out Motion Ease. He helps me out with any like little niggly injuries and stuff. Yep. The biggest thing that I get out of something like that as well, out of a physio, is that like I've got someone to just ask if something like if I injure something in training a little bit, or I'm a little bit worried about something in training, I can just check with him. He can run me through some tests, and then and I can kind of like decide like what I'm going to do with my training. You know, I'm never like hoping for a magical cure or anything. But I've also found that like over my experience of training, I'm able to alter what I'm doing to always be able to make the most out of my training opportunities. So like when I fractured my orbital early in the year when I was matched to fight Harry Webb, and I had to pull out of that. I ended up making some of the most significant gains to my jiu-jitsu game from constant like study, constant like research. I had a ton more energy because I wasn't like wearing myself out from training every day. So I used it as an opportunity as opposed to like sitting around and going, oh, like, because I was told I wasn't allowed to do any exercise for 4 weeks.
Yep.
I could have definitely sat around and kind of like moped about it. It felt terrible, but instead I kind of kept myself busy. And as a result, I ended up making some huge gains in my jiu-jitsu and grappling game from constant study. So yeah, like I'm always able to manage the training load because I understand my body now, and I also know how to adapt the training to what my body needs and what I can output at the time.
Yeah, man, you kind of remind me of GSP's trainer. What's his name again?
Awesome.
You know what's his name? The guy.
John Danaher.
No, the
Faraz Sahabi.
Yeah, Faraz. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just talking about like how you have to get to the next session and be in good condition, you know, like to be able to continue, you got to maximize the training and maximize everything, you know, to the most you can. Yeah, that's good. I love that thing of people when they're injured continuing to train through, like doing whatever they can and getting around it and working other areas. Because, like you said, it's very easy for your layman too, for your general person like myself. You hurt something, it's easy just to go fuck it. I'll have a month off and not do anything. But you can still work other things, be it your mind, be it your other body parts, right?
Yeah. Like to me, anyone that says they're pursuing MMA as a career and then cops an injury and like in their month off, just goes home and fucking plays video games or whatever in their spare time instead of studying or upskilling, is never going to make it. Anyone that's like that is never going to make it in the big time. I think you have to be totally obsessed with it, and that's where I'm at. So that's the first thing that my mind goes to. You know, if I have to just do intellectual study about my craft, I'll just do intellectual study about my craft. There's no point where I'm limited and I can't do anything to help progress my career. So
yeah, that's good, bro. It's good to have that obsession leading up for this fight. Should do you well, man. So Perth, February 10th, Eternal 82, fighting Quillan Salkilld for the lightweight belt, man. What's your final prediction on that one?
I want to keep it fairly close to the chest. I don't want him to know exactly what I'm planning. I predict that I finish him. I predict that. I won't say with what, but I got a pretty specific idea of what.
Awesome, man. Very excited for this fight. The first fight was a good fight to watch, very entertaining. Both of you are great fighters, so I can't wait to see this go down, man. Looking forward to it. I'm tempted to get over there, but I think I'm not going to be able to. But best of luck to you, bro, and I hope you do as well as you want to do.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, brother.
Cool.